What is up, ladies and germs? Welcome to another video. Today we are playing Winston Draft in paper. Those of you that don't know what Winston Draft is you open up X amount of packs, usually like 6, but today we got a big chaos pool of 7 packs with a couple collector boosters in there as well, and of an array of packs. And so, that being said, we got Final Fantasy, Lord of the Rings, we got collector boosters of Aether Drift, we got collector boosters of Dominaria Remastered. What else we got? Some spicy packs in here. So, we're looking to do Chaos Jank, and what you do is you shuffle all those cards together, and then you make 3 different piles of a single card right next to the big pile of all the cards that were shuffled all together. And then you get to choose from the first, and then if you like it, you get to keep it, and then take a card from the big stack and refill that spot again. So you're always going to have 3 stacks until the very end when you're out of cards to go so. But that is how you build your deck. So if you don't like it, you will put that card back in its pile, then take another card and put it on top. So that stack will then have 2 cards in it. So it is a way to draft with 2 people. It's very cohesive in that sense to where you can just draft one-on-one. So it's nice when you don't have the capability of getting out with a big group of people or you're F&M and something, but you just have a buddy or a friend or whatever have you, and you're able to draft. So I am MTG Flux. If you guys like this kind of content, please like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate you all hanging out with me. Makes me so happy. So let's get this 2026 started with some different refresh of, or a breath of fresh air of different things, and let's get some Winston drafts going, but enjoy the video. All right, party people, we are back, and so the packs that we do end up pulling from, we roll to see who goes first, and Lawson goes first, so he gets the first pick, and he passed it. But these are the packs. You got 2 Final Fantasies, a Lord of the Rings, 2 Aether Drift collector boosters, a Dominaria Remastered collector booster, and a Foundations collector booster. So those are the packs that we are shuffling up together and get this draft going on. I have some option here, but he drops you see a flip card. We do just keep the lands in and keep the flip cards flipped to provide more information. And that flip card was Jill. It's basically a mana war with a whole bunch of upside, as it's able to flip into a nice saga creature or a summon creature from the Final Fantasy set. So into that space already. So I'm like, all right, let's go. And it's better than the first 2 cards put together. I think it's just a really good card. So taking that, between all these packs, like there is some synergy like within them. I like this pick a lot. So before I go into that, I have a dual land here from Aether Drift. It's just a gain land, and I choose to take it. The thing about Chaos Draft and Winston Draft is fixing is incredibly hard to come by. Because if you think about it, you only get a land out of each pack if it's not, and it depends on the set. And a lot of times they're basic lands that just come with the packs, as you just see me flip over there. So I take that dual land right away. And then I see, what's this, Maganda, whatever. It turns into like a painless ancient tomb if you start your engines and get to full speed. But then we get High Fae Trickster, which is a 4/2 flash flyer for 4, and it gives other spells you have flash, which is disgusting. And just a hard threat. You'll see, because we do have gameplay to provide today, of how good it really is. That being said, but what I was saying, like with the there's artifact themes in Final Fantasy. There's artifact themes in Aetherdrift, and we have 2 of each on there. And there's other support artifacts like in Foundations. There's strong things to do. Dominaria Remastered has some. Like, there's just good things going on. So I'm looking at this. I'm like, and a dual land, which doesn't touch the other dual land that I have, but for blue-black dual land, seems really good. And I'll just play Monk's Fist just for a 2-drop. I think the card is just kind of fine. It's going to fill what I'm trying to do really well. So feeling really good to get 2 early dual lands and a potential okay land if I choose to play it, if we're into just a lot of artifact things. So feeling good about my position now. And this sucks because you get 2 lands, and so 3 technically, and I pulled Rivendell. So I had a few legendary creatures, not very many, but it comes in untapped if you have a legendary creature in play, and you can't activate it unless you have a legendary creature in play. So, okay, but I'm just thinking the upside of I'm cutting off blue at all costs. And Lawson's going to know that I'm cutting off blue. So I think it could have some stuff. And I'm also looking at the 3/2 creature just for some, maybe I'm Simic. I don't know what my other color is or other colors are. But if I'm already looking like a pretty nice spot on lands, then we're doing it. Magic Pot would be just fine in this deck. I kind of wish I grabbed it here, but I do think I don't get paid off in this pack. I think I actually take... So let's say you don't want any card in any of the piles. After you say no, then put a card back on. And so this is an example. So I'll end up putting this one back, and I just fill that card and then just take one off the top. And Golem's Bite is a fine card. So I know that I have a Dimir land, so fixing's fine, and it makes the ring tempt you as that mechanic and that Lord of the Rings set. So feel good about that. It's not a bad thing. So in this spot, I know that I'm light on playables, but I have some stronger things going on. I think I'm just getting the bones of my deck together, and that's where I'm at. So we'll see what we got going on. This was a tough pick because I do think it could have been played. This was kind of like a decision point, whether black was a thing that I wanted to do, but I wasn't ready to commit to black at this point. It's just a hand hate card, so 4 mana, look at their hand, put 1 non-land of away, and then you amass orcs too. But so nothing too crazy. And here, still uninterested in these. I think Broken Wings is actually really, really good in these kinds of things. Then we get a Swords to Plowshares. So I'm just snap keeping that. A, Lawson will not be able to play with that card. B, it's early enough I can see what white looks like for me. And come to find out, we end up getting there on some white cards. So, feeling okay. I have a nice little 1/1 Vigilant creature in white too from Aetherdrift, so that wasn't bad neither. I actually just told Lawson in that moment that was a bomb. He's going to want to keep that card. And this card's nutty. It's Urza's Blueprints. It's 6 mana artifact, Echo 6. That means you have to pay it on upkeep if you want to keep it, and it's just tap draw a card. So, no, I don't want to play Echo 6 ever in my life, so I chose not to do it. This is another speculative pick. Colosseum Behemoth is a really, really good finisher. Trample, you get to disenchant or draw a card on its CTB, so not bad. So still kind of feeling out what my second color is going to be. I know I'm going to be blue with High Fate, Trickster, and Jill carrying that space, but blue is seeming a little cut off at this point in time. But the thing about Winston, there are some picks that they don't even get to see. So I get to just open it in first dibs. So like being cut off on it is one thing, but it's not always the case. Armand is not a bad card. I think that is great in this space. This was interesting. So this kind of built the bones to my deck. Repurposing Bay. I know I have like a Monk's Fist. I know that I knew going into this based off the packs that there was going to be a lot of artifacts floating around. So a Repurposing Bay seems really good. This was a mistake. This card gave me a hard time in the gameplay, as you will see, but I should have just hated this card. The card is just well statted, and if he gets to, and then I get this white, like, Lord, or not Lord, but Anthem. But yeah, if he gets max speed, like, I'm just having a hard time dealing with it. So there was a couple games where it got a little weird, but we ended up getting there. So same thing with this T-Rexar. I just wanted to take it so he didn't have it. I felt like there was a high chance for him to be green, and just based off what I'm seeing so far. So I just chose to not let him have it. The deck that we ended up getting, like, was actually pretty nice. I was really happy with. This is one of my more happy. Oh, I did take this evil, whatever it is. It's a recursion spell, and then whatever creature brings back, you get a couple +1/+1 counters on it. So I am at this point in time, I'm thinking that I'm more of a Sultai deck, just with a good top end green, and then we get a Chain Lightning. So this just kind of derails minds and thoughts. I know I have that Boros dual land, so I'm like, I can just play colors, and I'm still on the high of getting some fixing early, so feeling good about that. But so this was a nice spot. So I was glad he never got to see the Repurposing Bay, so he doesn't cut me off from that archetype of just artifacts. But I also love the Dragoon's Wyvern. It's just a 2-for-1. 2/1 flyer makes a 1/1. Nothing special, but it's a nice card. Especially like I'm looking like a Flyers deck of some capacity with the High Fae Trickster and things like that. So off to a nice start. Repurposing Bay is like forefront in my mind. Like, well, if I can do some of this artifact stuff, we can really get somewhere. Let's see if we can get some payoff, something to build into. But the thing about Repurposing Bay in limited is not necessarily great because you're trading your resources instead of 2-for-1ing for your resources. So, but if there is something that we can get to, I'll feel good about this. I see Dragoon's Lance here. Dragoon's Lance is a busted card, and it would be any form of limited. I think this card would be fantastic. So we take that there, and plus there was a 4-mana 3/3 that puts 3 red in your mana pool, and chose not to care about that or play that card. And I don't know if I'm red. I know I have this Chain Lightning, which I do really want to play, but and a red artifact. I ended up picking up a 3/1 flash red vehicle that when it ETBs you. I think I should have took this card though. This is a fine 3-drop. I didn't have any towns at this moment, but I think like it would have been nice to loot and get some more card selection. But anyways, yeah. So not knowing like 100% my direction, I know I'm blue and I'm falling in on that. Then I see this Absorb. I'm like, Swords of Plowshares. I got really good blue cards. Let's do it. I think this is a fine place to pick up a counterspell, and yeah, card's fine. It's worse than a cancel. You gain 3 life, but that's irrelevant in most cases. So I'm getting some nice card quality, like cheaper card quality, feeling really good about. I didn't want to pass this back to him. Luckily, Lawson didn't end up playing this full throttle, but I'm like, I don't want him. Lawson loves to live the dream, and that's a dream that he would love to live. I don't think this would have been a bad pick. Rune Sealed Wall. I just tap and surveil '06. Like, it's good, but I know especially against Lawson that Lawson can have quite assertive gameplay, and so feeling. Oh, this is the 4 mana, add 3 red to my mana pool. So I think I ended up picking up that 3/1 artifact. So this was a nice patient pick because we got this commander card which has flying, and then creatures in my hand have cycle 2. So if I'm really trying to push through, it's a 2/1 flyer as well. So I love a 2/1 flyer for 2. Like, it's just good. Just good. So yeah, not bad. And then giving creatures cycle in your hand may not be bad as well. Like, there may be some legs to what that looks like for me, or some flexibility. Not really great, but like sometimes you just got to keep the line moving. A couple green cards. This was probably the most painful pack to give him. It's a 2/1 dog that if you have more life than them, then you get the dog. So like that's whatever. But the landfall make a elf from Foundations here, and the full throttle was kind of like, am I giving him too much? So, and I may have at this point, but it's okay. This was a tougher pick for me. I'm just not playing those cards though, so didn't feel too bad. Road Rage, pass it along. It's a nice little shock, but it's whatever. This is just a tuck card, 4 mana, put on second from the top. So ended up taking that, working out just fine. Just trying to make sure I'm what colors I'm really investing myself into, and I'm looking at Azorius, and I'm like, well, here I am finding myself in Jeskai stuff again. Lumbus. I do like this card. I think this card is actually good in my deck too. It played smoothly in the thing, so I just like a nice little value artifact card, and plus with a repurposing bay, may be quite fantastic given the right situation. I ended up missing out on a 1-drop artifact and a 3-drop artifact. So the Lumbus spread ended up just being a value piece instead of like a fodder for the repurposing bay, but that's okay. Another example, this was brutal. I gave this him, like, I put it back down and literally told him that he's going to kill me with that card. This is a nice pickup. That was a Gunblight Pathfinder or something like that. It's a 6/5 vigilant guy that tutors and puts into play a 2-mana artifact. And I have some really nice 2-mana artifacts going on right now. So, like, the card is just fantastic in what I'm trying to do. And I'm already starting to be heavy white-blue anyway. So, feeling good about that. That was a nice, like, cohesive, synergistic pickup there. I'm still keeping my eye on some green because I don't know. This is just a hate card at this point. Like, I'm kind of tangenting about, like, I can't. I hate seeing all these big things that I just can't let you have. So I'm just gonna hate them. That's the thing about Winston. Like, a lot of information is known, so it's easy to find out what they are, and if you choose to cut them off or try to hook them. And hooking means, like, you leave something there with intention for them to be in those colors, and then you cut it off. I do like a Ornithopter. I really do like an Ornithopter. And, like, I need to check some things. So I'm checking how many equipments I have and things like that. So at this point I had 2 equipments. I'm seeing if I have any other Ornithopter synergies, because it would be nice. I do end up playing like 16 lands on this deck because I feel like the cost to a lot of my stuff is very good value. But I opt to just put the Ornithopter back, he'll be able to see it and hopefully pass it back to me. And this is a wild card. I do end up taking it, but it's just an energy card that makes you like, if you get, for everything that you cast and you get energy for its mana cost, and if you have 50 energy, you can draw 7 cards and cast cards without paying its mana cost. So like, I didn't even have like 50 costs worth of things in my deck. So I ended up taking it because like, well, this is a cool repurposing target. So let's see. So all in all, feeling really good about this spot, you know. There's a lot of strategy that goes into Winston just because it's just a 1v1. This is a nice pickup for a little equipment, for kind of like my like artifact theme. It's a 2-drop. Feeling just fine about that. So yeah, getting my deck. This was more for a chaos like draft. This was one of my more very focused, like nice synergy decks, which synergy doesn't always come together in these chaos drafts. But it's, you know, this kind of came together with efficiency, synergy, and those kinds of things. So I was really happy with the outcome that we ended up getting here. So just looking at my pile. But there is synergies there. We're kind of doing the thing. Yeah, nothing. Lawson ended up being like crazy Jund. When I say crazy Jund, like he had multiple 4-pip cards, like 2 of one color, 2 of another color, and then a lot of 2-pip cards. Like he had to draw really, really well in order to like make sure he can cast his cards. So his deck was a little bit more ambitious. This is a nice little 3/4, has some graveyard synergies, and then an Abrade. So like I'm inclined to play red at this point just for the efficient removals, and I'll splash for removal in something like this. I think that's a fine thing to do. So nice little double pickup in there, 2 playable cards. Nice little 1-drop here from Lord of the Rings. It just has 5, tap itself, give all creatures you have +1/+1 until end of turn, and it costs 2 less if you have a legendary creature. Well, it's like I said, I don't have too many legendary creatures, but enough to like, let's try it out. But I'm white. Swords of Plowshares, Dragoons, Lance. Yes. I actually hate when I drafted Aether Drift, that Brood, whatever. Oh, this is a nice pick. I get my own Ornithopter. Oh, yeah. And I show him, like, yeah, I got one too. Because he ended up taking that pack, which broke my heart. I would have loved 2 Ornithopters in this deck. It wouldn't have been great, but, like, it would have been good enough. I ended up, like, with enough equipment to, you know, at least provide something going on. Like I said, I don't know if it's right, but it's something I wanted to do. Arabo, which is nice. It's a 2/2 for 3. That makes a 2/2 basically. It's a 1/1 that, you know, gets +1/+1 because he is a cat and he is a cat lord. No other cats synergies, but it's just an easy 2-for-1 creature. And like gameplay provided that he had to kind of deal with it, just getting ahead like aggressively like that is something that he his deck didn't really want. But I did have to double check. I was like, type will count, and check all my cards real quick, make sure I didn't have any cats. But I'm like, it's just good by itself. We take those. Cards that are good and like Winston are like just easy 2-for-1s, like self-refined 2-for-1s. Like a Rabo makes another creature, and a Dragoon's Wyvern makes a 1/1 hero token. Like those things just do really, really well in this kind of space. And then just this wasn't a bad pack for me. That just gives +0/+1 and vigilance to all your creatures, and it has some other effect on the other side. But and then Ether, which is a spell copying spell, which is really good with my Abrade, Chain Lightning, Swords of Plowshares, which is like those card. This card would be unplayable in a lot of decks, but a deck like mine that had like very, very cheap and efficient removal, I was like, it kind of works there, because normally I would just pass on the card. It is a card that I would play, and I like those kinds of things, but I wouldn't classify it as good. But in this deck, I think it could be good. So we're getting bottom to the bottom of the pack, or the pile, and so we'll start firing these off. This card was interesting. It basically steals an equipment and attaches it to a creature you control, and then you hit in, and he was already kind of going on about wild equipment cards, but the card's actually good to me. I think it was almost ambitious to put it back down as I do, but I just didn't want to take it. Here's another hate card. I don't know if it was right or wrong. Neither of us ended up playing it. I could have took Red Mage's Rapier, but I ended up not. Instead, I hate the Centipede, or whatever that card was. It just absolutely slaughters 1/1 counters on all your creatures and just makes it stupid big. It was probably one of the better cards in the draft. Even though how this draft ended up, Lawson ended up with like a bunch of mythics. I didn't have any mythics, but I just had solid rares. He had, I think, 13 mythics and rares, and I had like 11. So that distribution was nice. He just had a lot more mythics. I don't recall having any mythics, but Lawson does get lucky in these damn drafts. He pulls really good. So, and he rolls really good too. It's kind of terrible. I take this here. I decide let's just not let him have the thing. So my deck ended up coming together. The black is out. The green is out. So I ended up going with nice, efficient Jeskai is probably the best way to call it. Here's the copy of the deck list that we had. It's just good. Yeah, this got a nice curve, efficient things going on, and I think that a deck like this will have some legs against Lawson. So let's get in some gameplay. He won the die roll again. He won the die roll for picking first and playing first. So after this day, we decide that, all right, if you win the die roll picking first, you will play second, or choose to play first, or you know what I'm saying, not have the advantage during the gameplay, which I think is fair. So I am on a mulligan. This mulligan actually hurt. My deck does not respond well to mulligans, just because I don't have a lot of card flow in this deck. I just have efficient cards. So I'm kind of like a lightning bolt, like in and out, like a fast food restaurant. Just kind of be efficient and kill stuff, get on the board quick, just be faster and more efficient, especially in a very mid-range Jund deck. So decided to put away, I think it's a Ether on that one, but he gets to go first. No one drop, thank God. I play Rivendell, and then I said, I was waiting for him to go. I actually baited him. I was waiting for him to draw, just assume that he goes first. And then I was like, whoa, I'm not done. I gotta play and play Ornithopter, because I'm spicy like that. That's how I roll. Ornithopter looking very medium. So, and he plays Brynhildr, which is a 2/1 summon. Exiles a card on the top of his library. He can cast that card. He can cast that card, and as long as there's Brynhildr's in play. So he rips a little 2-mana 1/1 that basically flings itself after it dies or equal to its power to any target. So I make a silly play here because I make a power move, attack him with my O2. No effects, as it's not like he could do anything. And it was actually just a straight up bad play because he plays his little 1/1 and just gets in for an extra damage. I'm like, oh, bad plays. He's on Tron, natural Tron for his Jund already, so also not feeling good about that. He takes the turn to cast his little 1/1, and it does come in with haste based off of Brynhildr, so he gets in for an easy 3 because I am silly. I get my natural Tron too, so yay. I am glad that we kind of are both sides. He's Jund, I'm Jeskai. I'm splashing red. He is playing heavier red, so that kind of shows that like we were in our own lanes. You know, yeah, there was some cutting off of quality cards from one another, but ultimately, like we weren't fighting over something to give us 2 really bad decks. His deck was good, it was powerful with all the mythics and bombs, so difficult to navigate, but it wasn't the worst. I play Arabo here, make a little cat. It's a 2/2 cat because Arabo is a cat lord. Feeling good about this spot, or at parity at this spot. He has a really good hand though. Like, I know he didn't spend his last turn doing much of anything, but he does slam this little 4/4 trample, like reach creature, which that was the creature I was like, oh, this creature's gonna kill me. But Brynhildr does give all those creatures haste, so as he tries to jump in here, I just opt to double block, just trade those resources just because that's a difficult card for me to handle. So getting those double blocks in, Arabo did his job. Basically, I traded my 3 mana for his 4 mana on that turn, so don't feel that bad in that regard neither. So this game actually just kind of doesn't like go super well for me, but even though like I'm kind of like doing my thing and of what my deck does, you know, Arabo into Dragoons, Wyvern, so getting a little 2-for-1 creature, so like I'm feeling ahead at this point. I'm like, oh, okay, this isn't bad. We got some stuff going on. He does have a suplex in hand, and that card's like really good for him against my deck. And this is a 4-mana card from Final Fantasy. It just makes 2 horrors, 2/2 horrors that, and then you can flashback it for like I think 6, and you can make horrors equal to the amount of creatures in your graveyard, which currently he has 2, so it's pretty good so far for him. But it'll get us a little 2/2, so not terrible. My hand somewhat awkward because I had like 3 3-drops in my opening hand, but I'm feeling fine in the spot that we have, especially hitting land number 5. So this is a pretty good turn for me as we play Jill, bounce a token. Jill's super good. And then 2 for Dragoon's Lance. I am feeling exponentially ahead at this point. So, yeah, feeling it. This is fine stuff we got here. We're going wide. Matches, squares up to his board really well. I didn't want to attack with my 1/1 there because if he trades with the little guy or which is 2 mana 1/1, then he'll just fling it and kill my wyvern. So, not looking very interested in that. So, but he actually has a pretty gross play for that, anyways. Yeah, he kind of cleans me up here a little bit. So he suplexes the Jill. Which will put it in exile. There will be no more fun recursion of that at any capacity. He attacks for 2. I take it. And I think so he has a pretty nasty play on his attacks too, or my attacks. So as I decide what I want to do here, it's just, sticking to the plan, but I'm running out of resources. That was this game's problem for me, is that I just kind of really just ran out of resources because he had pretty good 2-for-1s affecting my board and supporting his, so it was just enough to kind of like stabilize until he started casting, until he starts hitting his land drops and things like that. So I throw out the Ornithopter, which I'm actually glad I did at this point because I was doing this straight out of value to play my last card in my hand, which is the 3/1 vehicle that gives target creature +2/+0 and trample until end of turn, but it's also just a crew 1 vehicle as well. So this is going to be able to trade with them pretty well. So that ended up being a pretty quality play, and I'm just going to take my trades here since I'm ahead, and he's missing land drops. He needs to still hit 2 land drops to get to his second half of that horror making creature. So honestly, I'm feeling really good. I feel like I'm winning this game, but still just kind of top decking. Just trying to put pieces together, so see what I do here. I don't think I may have whiffed. No, I did not. I'm thinking about just moving some equipment around, try to stay efficient. I do think that this was a pretty good play here based off what he had in his hand. And I just played the little 1/1 vigilant guy that saddles 3, gets flying and +1/+2, which isn't bad. So he plays, what is this? Whatever that card is, it sacks his creature, he flings it, kills one of my things, and then -6/-6 on, or -5/-6 or whatever it does, kills another thing. So I felt good about putting it on the Ornithopter because it was on its own, wasn't very good, like in that particular spot. Instead of everything else is going to be a little bit more damage because putting that on the Ornithopter is just a 1/2. And this is that card that I passed him, Fortune something something. Where whenever he attacks, he pings target player for 1. And but it starts his engines too. But he gets some pretty sick plays here soon. That really does just wreck me. So just getting some aggressive attacks in, trying to get him in a lethal space. So I'm willing to trade off some things just to kind of keep pushing the envelope. And then he plays, that's the twin whatever tyrant. He actually gave me this card. Shout out to you, Lawson. You're a sweet guy. Yes, the Twin Flame Tyrant. This card is sweet. It's in the alternate showcase art. And yeah, it's like a $30 card. But he gave it to me because it was kind of my birthday draft. So he felt pity on me because I was born on that day. All right, so he's able to get in for some damage, but this is a really, really close game. I ran out of gas, but now whenever the Twin Flame Tyrant or whatever, it just doubles damage everywhere. So like the Fortune's hitting in for pinging up 2, so he's just clocking me at this point. So I'm just like, well, I mean, I got a turn or two of just trying to get anything going, and I ended up topping 2 lands. So feels bad, but that Tyrant's just really good in this deck. I'm pretty sure he ended up getting that early and just playing around doing those things. Like, I mean, that's a nice card to kind of build your deck around. So not terrible, not terrible. I'm just trying to do some attack math. I know it's for blockers, but I really want to beat Lawson. So we opt to just try to get in there. So strategically just shifting around, equipment to see what makes sense of what I can do, and then topping a land, just cashing out and be like, that wasn't for us. Let's go to game 2. In his deck, like, you don't want him starting to hit 5 and 6 mana. I was lucky to have him at 4 there, but he was still able to get some efficient things going on. And with the Twin Flame guy, he opts to, because he knows he dies on crackback if I chump. So he just gets in with the Fortune, and I just, no blocks. So I take, I think, 8 there, put me down to 3. So it's 3-2. And basically him having anything, just game. Because he even in that spot, like he had to have something because I could have just attached one of my equipments on my other creature and get in, but he ended up having a creature, and I showed that I just had a couple lands. So, womp womp. And then this game, I'm excited because I get to go first. I didn't get to pick first in the draft. I didn't get to win the die roll for go first. Like, I'm just wanting to be first. And it was nice. We end up getting there. These are some fun games too. Like, that game was really, really close. I ran out of gas, so like that there was no excitement there. But I was top decking a little bit to kind of keep me going. So it wasn't the worst thing in the world, but it was pretty fine. Yeah, this is I went over to Lawson's house to play, and he has an array of pack collections, just from over the years of him winning and getting. So it's pretty. He has a artillery as far as like packs that we can use and stuff like that. Because sometimes when I want to do something spicy, I'll spend some money just to do some spicy Winston. But yep, I think I like this hand. Can't remember. Nope. Mulligan again. But I think I actually kept a really good 6. And I actually drew really well off this too. So, not the worst feeling in the world, but it's okay. I know my deck can kind of go nuts, and I know his deck is hard to cast spells, so just banking on those two high variant things and trying to go from there. He should be winning every one of these games anyways because he has the Christmas Dragon Shield sleeves. Just too good. Too good. All right. Rivendell again. I did keep a 2-lander with no red, so there was some risk involved. So we played Lumbus. Anyone notice I forgot to tap my mana for my Lumbus spread? I had no plays anyways. I knew the deal. Judge. So I ripped Natural Mountain, so felt good about that. Get a Robbo on the battlefield. He plays a 3/1 speed creator. That basically, I think, either it can sack for 2 mountain or, I don't know, I think it adds 2 mountain to something. So, don't feel like I'm in a bad spot, just sticking to the plan. He attacks, I block. He kills my other one. I feel great about that exchange. Got his creature out of the play and pulled one of his removal out of his hand. So feels good. I rip another land. Life is good. So I pass. And then I got him on Absorb. So counter target spell, gain 3 life. Absorb looking real good in that because that card wrecks me. So it was a nice slam there. And 4 mana pass. or 5 mana pass. We go full control on Lawson here. It's actually pretty awesome. So he plays the Magic Pot, which has some graveyard hate and things like that. So I am not worried about that. However, I will just slam a High Fae Trickster, 4/2 Flying Flash, and start trying to beat his face in continuously until his life total goes to 0. That's my plan. But I have a super control deck. I have all my interaction spells in my hand. I am sitting on a Chain Lightning in my hand too, which actually I'm just trying to find a better target for it. I may go face if need to, but not necessary in this moment in time. But he is playing red. He can always counter or cast it again and throw it back at me. Downside of Chain Lightning. So he wants to react to me putting my Lumbus in the graveyard, because Lumbus, whenever it goes to the graveyard, you get to shuffle it back into your deck. And then I honestly forgot my trigger, and I was like, oh, this will end up needing to go away. So I run it back a little bit. So getting that trigger, he uses his pot to take out the Lumbus spread. Leaving up Chain Lightning. So I was able to do that on his end step. And then I am here. So I got 6 damage coming through pretty aggressively. There is some, I have answers to the Twin Flame. It's just I need to keep tempoing him out and make him do his Jun thing where he's playing all these cards, and I have the Tuck card that puts a card on the second from the top, and then so I feel fine about that. In this spot, which it was, I think, probably more ambitious. I probably should have just Chain Lightninged him, just in case he does have it. Or he would have casted that turn if he did, I believe. So I cast that card to, well, you're going to have to draw that one again, Captain. Sorry. Then going into my turn, it's just fun playing your turn on their turn. Life is good. But I got plays. Jill, I should have just honestly jilled him on his own turn is what I should have did, but a little slop play there. Yes, we got him. Scoop him, Lawson. Scoop him. Scoop him. If you guys like these Winston drafts, please let me know. I really want to explore different and cool ways to have limited gameplay for everyone, and to provide that. It's a lot of fun to make this bit of content, so I'm also enjoying that as well. But I want to be entertaining for you all, so let me know what you think. So that worked out really well. High Fae Trickster busted. Busted. Honestly, if you have I'm probably taking the Twin Flame Tyrant over the High Fae Trickster if it was in the same pack. But High Fae Trickster is pretty good. I don't think this is a long game neither, so we kind of just run our course. I do mulligan. Did I mulligan? I mulliganed every game. Man, it's rough out here. That's rough, buddy. Keeping the line moving. All right. Tucked one away. I get to go have the honor of going second. Life sucks, but we're cool. We're chilling. He was like, "Do you have Rivendell again?" He plays this 1/3 whenever it attacks. It scries one, which is pretty good. It's good on a 1/3 body. Get some card advantage. So play the Nothlist or whatever. It's from Final Fantasy. Just makes 1/1 hero, and then whenever it attacks, it untaps target attacking permanent. So just playing a Voltron Flyers deck, man. Slash Jeskai value or efficient. Jeskai efficient. I don't think it was Jeskai value. He plays a mana rock here. I'm like, dang. Ramping, so it's like he's up 2 turns, it feels. Life sucks. So the ring tempts him. And then I have like Lord of the Ring dice, like that looks like they have rings in them. It's like, you gotta use the Lord of the Ring dice, man. Come on. It's just flavor. It's all about flavor. Can't play Lord of the Rings. So Lord of the Rings was underwhelming in this just because the mechanics weren't like super loud. Because like the ring temps use a big one in that space, and like a mass orcs, things like that. So it didn't really come up, at least from where we sat. But and only having one pack of it, you're not going to impact a lot. There was a world where you could have like switched that out with another pack and kind of leaned into that a little bit, which would have been also fine. Lord of the Rings was a great set. Natural Tron again, we take those. So attack with that guy, it targets itself to untap it. Get in for 2. Play Dragoons, Wyverns. So get a little value pushing through some damage. I love creatures like that. And they are good in Winston, as I stated before. He plays this guy again. Ha! Yeah, that's right. So I have a perfect card for a card like that. So yep, we get in here, repurposing Bay, and then Swords of Plowshares. Card is busted. So good. Take your 4 life, get that monstrosity out of here. So, unfortunately, I don't have any 3 mana artifacts in my deck to really get some real value off here, but he doesn't know that. So, repurposing Bay actually probably looks quite scary for him. And he plays a little mana dork vehicle. And he's going to be able to cast a creature off it. So he's ramping pretty hard. Like mana is not a problem for him at this point. He has 6 available here, so plays Ari Man, little 2/2 flying death touch. Has a sack outlet to itself too, I think. Gets in for his little 1, gets a scry. Up his speed. So, still feeling good. Pretty sure I have an answer for Ari Man here. And let's see what I got. No, I think I just offered the trade. Maybe I don't have the answer. I'm not wanting to use a removal spell on it. I'm wanting them to trade it because like I am the asserter at this point. So, and I choose to untap the Wyvern instead of itself with the equipment. So even if he doesn't want to block it, I'll be able to have mine up to trade off because that's kind of what I chose that line of resource giving. Getting a little tight for him, but I am scared. He does just his amount of cards that he's getting is getting a little low. He plays the Brood, 6/5. It's a vehicle, 6/5, reach and menace. But it disenchants on an ETB and he chooses to get rid of my repurposing bay, which luckily for me is not doing anything for me at this moment in time. So I'm glad he did that instead of my equipment. But his guy is also crew 2. And then I just get to slam a high Fae Trickster because it's busted. So now I get to do that funness. I choose to make some plays with him being tapped out. Make a little 1/1 that can pump the squad if I want it to. Which is looking really nice in this spot. Then I play Monk's Fist. I never untap my little guy too, so I'm attacking with him as well. So getting in 4, 6, 7 damage. I untap the 1/1 hero token, so if needed to chump, I would be interested, even though I have a couple chumping guys out there anyway. Feeling good in this spot. High Fae Trickster's just a busted card. So he gets to kill my 1/1 pump the team guy. Tapping 4 mana for make a couple 2/2s. 2/2 Horrors. So now he's able to crew his big guy, but we're kind of just pumping damage at this point. Tap, I think I hit my land drop here. But once again, I am kind of running out of resources, so being very strategic. This is where the equipment kind of became super important. Get the Monk's Fist on the Trickster. Keep cranking damage there. No, I think I drew the think I drew the Dragoon's Lance here, so I think I may cast that. So I tap to crew the Monk's Fist, get in for a bunch of gross damage, trigger, untap a token, getting in. So I opt to flip around my other guy and try to force a chump here. It's more so a trade. And then I play the Dragoon's Lance in step. Life's good. So go wide strategy is working out just fine. I am only on 4 mana, so like I get to basically equip something and, you know, hold on to a dream. But I see that he's running low on resources as well, so it's not the worst thing in the world. But he does need to start getting some stuff going if he wants to take a turn, because he's down to 4. And basically I need to rip a land so I can attach, double attach equipment on my creature with the Dragoon's Lance, so I can get in for 4 each creature and call it a day. But yeah, pretty sure he doesn't have much outs. I think we're just discussing the matter. But that being said, guys, as I said before, if you guys like Winston drafting or like different kinds of drafting, let me know in the comments down below. Please, please, please like, comment, and or subscribe. Once again, I'm MTG Flux. Please hang out with me. Let's have some fun. Let's learn and do and see some different styles of drafting and things in limited space. But yeah, I'm grateful for all the time that you guys have given me. And so as I close this game up with this guy, I appreciate you guys for hanging out. But we will see you all. Whoa, 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 whoa. Well, I'm faded out. We'll see you guys all in the next video. I'll catch y'all later.